Welcome back, everyone. I am Jackelyn Shultz and I have another product to review for you today. It is a kitchen gadget. I am always really excited when I find potentially amazing kitchen gadgets because if you know me and you follow me on my other family vlog channel, then you would know I am not really an expert when it comes to cooking. I am by no means a chef. As a matter of fact, my parents and my mom never really cooked either, so I didn't have anyone to learn from. So I was starting from scratch when I had my kids, and I'm trying my best to cook by myself. I know I am not the only one who doesn't know their way around the kitchen, so I am assuming there's many of you out there as well that will be stoked to see this product, perhaps try it out. I mean, even if you do know your way around the kitchen and you are an expert cook, I feel like this can still be very useful. Before I get started and we jump right on into reviewing this product, if you're not already subscribed to me, you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You can also turn on notifications so that you never miss a review, because you don't want to miss some really cool products that I have found for you. All right, I am going to show you, drum roll please, the Thaw Claw, which seems like a relatively simple contraption, but if it works, it would be amazing. This kind of reminds me of the Drop Stop that I reviewed, in the sense that it's super simple and it makes me think, why did I not come up with this idea? So what the Thaw Claw is supposed to do is attach to the bottom of your kitchen sink, because it has a little suction cup at the bottom, and then when you fill it with warm or hot water, then you can put your your frozen meat or protein. I guess it could be frozen anything actually, but you could stick it right under the claw and it will hold it down underneath the water so that it'll thaw faster. As most of you know, if you have tried de-thawing protein underwater, these little packages, and actually most of the packages, float to the top, so you're really only de-thawing the bottom or whatever is sitting on the water and not the whole product, because it needs to be submerged. Now, the reason why I was so excited about a thawing product is because I am definitely not one of those moms or people in general that plan out their meals ahead of time. I know there are some people out there, and I wish I were one of them, who do meal planning and they have their whole week planned out, and maybe the night before or the morning when you wake up, you take out that protein, you let it thaw out throughout the whole day, and then it's ready for you at night. That is not me. I am one of the people who, like, an hour, maybe even 30 minutes before dinner time, I'm like, what am I gonna make for my kids? I end up never making the protein that is in my freezer because I just do not have enough time to thaw it out and cook it. So that stays in there, and I end up just like microwaving something or making pasta or something that's really super easy, really super simple, because that is who I am. If this actually works and cuts the thawing time by 70% like it claims, then I feel like I will have way more options when it comes to cooking dinner for my kids and for my family. There are so many thawing products out there. Like, I saw a tray too that's supposed to de-thaw. I don't know, that might be a gimmick. This, I figured, would work. Like, why wouldn't this work? You're holding it under warm water. Plus, I am not a fan of de-thawing in the microwave. I actually think that's gross and it doesn't cook it evenly, and then like some of it is actually cooked and the other parts are frozen. I am not a fan of de-thawing in the microwave. But my nanny, who saw this when it came in the mail, made a pretty valid point and was like, why can't you just take like a rock or something that's heavy and place it on top of the package, which will make it stay underwater? I mean, I guess that's technically true, but then it would be sitting on the bottom and there would be a rock on top. I don't know if it would affect the meat and the protein if you had something like sitting directly on it, like a rock, or if it was like sitting at the bottom of the sink. I'm not sure, but either way, I don't feel like going outside and searching for a rock or searching for something heavy to sit on top of it. The Thaw Claw has 144 reviews. It has 4.5 stars, and it is on sale right now from $13.99 down to $11.99, and it is prime and free returns. Okay, so this is going to take me a few days to try out because I don't want to waste any of the protein. So I don't want to try de-thawing everything at once. I am probably going to take 3 or 4 days to de-thaw the proteins so that I could cook it and make it for my family. The first thing I wanted to try out was the suction, because if it doesn't suction down to a surface, then it's obviously not going to work. I tried it on my granite countertop. It worked. I tried it on my glass table. It worked. I tried it in my porcelain sink. It also worked. And last but not least, I tried it in my stainless steel sink and it worked as well. So I think the suction is pretty good. Now the proteins that it lists on the back are fish, ground beef, chicken, steak, and pork. I decided to try all of them except for the pork. My family doesn't really eat pork. I don't even know how to prepare it. I don't want to waste any meat or food, so I just didn't get it. But I think that if I try out the other 4 proteins, we will get a good sense of whether or not it actually works. The first protein I decided to try was the chicken. Chicken usually takes about 4 hours to de-thaw. The package said that by using this claw, the chicken would only take 20 minutes. So I filled up my sink with hot water, stuck the claw down in there, and I put the chicken underneath. After letting it sit for about 20 minutes, I soon realized that it was only de-thawed about halfway. The bottom of the package was completely de-thawed, while the top of the package, the top that was rising closer to the surface, was still pretty much frozen. So what I'm thinking I would have to do is halfway through the allotted time, I would have to turn the package around, and what was previously sitting closer to the surface would now be on the bottom so that that part would de-thaw. I also noticed that water does seep into the package, so water is in the chicken while it is de-thawing, which might actually contribute to the fact that it is de-thawing faster wherever the water is. This also makes me realize that it is not sealed in these packages, so the chicken, the uncooked chicken, is getting into your sink, getting into the water, getting on this claw. So make sure that when you drain out the sink afterwards, you are cleaning out your sink with bleach or whatever other product you need to clean it out with so that it is sanitized. P.S. This is dishwasher safe, which is good because it's getting all the nasty raw meat bacteria all over it. I would say overall the chicken ended up taking about 45 minutes to de-thaw instead of the 20 minutes that it claimed, but that is still way faster than the 4 hours it would normally take if you were just letting it sit out on the counter. Next up, I tried the steaks. It claims to only take 20 minutes instead of the 3 hours it would normally take to de-thaw. I made a few changes. I switched the claw over to the smaller section in my sink. I had realized that I was wasting so much water by having it in the larger section because I had to fill it up so much more. So I made the switch over to the smaller section. Also, I made the water a little warmer than last time because I noticed that the water got cool pretty fast since you were sticking a whole big thing of frozen meat in there. I set the timer for 20 minutes. And then again, it was not ready in 20 minutes. I had to put it back in. I had to flip it around before being able to take it out, and it was completely de-thawed. Overall, again, it took about 45 minutes for the steaks to be completely de-thawed, completely ready for me to cook on the barbecue. I then decided to try the fish. Now, this was a little bit different because it wasn't packaged in the same packaging that is showed on the Thaw Claw package or directions. It also wasn't the same packaging that I had used previously for the chicken or the steaks, but I thought, hey, let's give it a try. No matter what, this Thaw Claw should work regardless of the packaging. I took it out of the butcher paper and I stuck it in a Ziploc bag, which was actually a little bit better because the fish was not seeping out of the packaging and getting all into the water and all over my sink. I think I would suggest that you might want to take this approach, even if you have the other packaging, taking the meat out, putting it in a Ziploc bag, closing it up, making sure it is sealed, just to be sure that none of the salmonella or the bacteria is getting in your water and all over your sink. This technique also ensures that none of the water will seep into the packaging and get into your meat. Regardless of the packaging, even though it was different, I found that it had the same exact outcome. It was not completely defrosted by the end of 12 minutes. I actually ended up flipping it over, setting the timer again for another like 12 to 15 minutes, and it still wasn't ready. I would say overall, the fish took about 35 minutes to completely de-thaw, which is still better than the hour it usually takes, but it definitely was not the 12 minutes that it claims to take on the package of the Thaw Claw. Last but not least was the ground beef, which I was stoked about because I have been wanting to make hamburgers. I did the same thing that I had been doing every single time with every other protein. I stuck it under the Thaw Claw. This time I finally figured out that I should be using gloves when I do this, not only to keep my hands protected because they are getting quite dry from the amount of hand washing I'm doing, but also because the water is pretty warm, actually kind of hot, and I have been burning my hands. So I would recommend using gloves when you are using this Thaw Claw. Again, the ground beef did not take 15 minutes to de-thaw. I even put it in for another 15 minutes, still wasn't completely thawed out. The ground beef took a total of about 40 minutes to completely de-thaw. Again, it is much better than the 2 hours it would take without the Thaw Claw, but it definitely did not meet the expectation. I was super excited for it to only take 15 minutes. All right, so here are my final thoughts on this Thaw Claw. I am so torn whether to say this is a great product and I give it 2 thumbs up, or if it's a complete fail. The reason why I think it is a great product is because it's super easy to just stick to the bottom of your sink. It actually does de-thaw your protein or anything else quite fast. It also definitely cuts the de-thawing time by about 50%, I would say. But the reason why I am not stoked is just because of the expected times that are written on the packaging. I feel like if they didn't write this on the package, like if there weren't expected thawing times on here, I would be thrilled and I would say, yes, this product is a win. But because I was expecting the fish to take 12 minutes, ground beef to take 15, chicken to take 20, steaks to take 20, I expected all of them to take under 30 minutes and almost none of them did. Thaw Claw, if you are listening out there, I feel like you should just take this little box off of your package altogether. And then this would be a true winner. Although I do have to say that I am going to continue to use this. It does make de-thawing protein exponentially, is that the word? Exponentially faster than if I weren't using this, than if it was just sitting on my counter. But I want to know what you think. Do you think this product, the Thaw Claw, is a winner or a loser? Please take my poll and let me know. Since I think this is a winner and I am going to continue to use this to de-thaw my protein and anything else that is frozen, I will be placing this in my Amazon store. The link is in the description so that you can go check it out. You can also go to my Amazon store to see every other product that I have reviewed and that I use in my day-to-day life. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. You can also share it and tell all your friends about it. And don't forget to leave a comment below letting me know if there are any other products that you would like me to try out and review for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see all of you guys again next Friday, for my next review. Bye.